worth noting before this class starts, because this recording will be used in the future. Right now, when this is recorded, it's currently locked down and all the barbers and hairdressers are closed. Just in case you think I'm rocking this thing on top of my head for the sake of it, I'm definitely not, okay? Now, going into this morning, this class is aimed at your overhead press movement, okay? But ultimately, all you need to concern yourself with is we're trying to improve, if I show you from the back, we're trying to improve your ability to keep a nice tight torso and get those arms up straight over your head while keeping the shoulder girdle pulled down and keeping these shoulder blades pulled together. Now, for a lot of people first starting out, we don't quite have that mobility. So what happens when we press up overhead, we start to shrug, we uncontrollably start to lift the shoulders, and we struggle to straighten out the arms. You can encounter both of that, or you might find that just your arms struggle to bend, or in fact, you just end up looking like I refer to zombie arms above your head, really struggling to get them straight, okay? And as a result, if you're pressing up over your head with weight, okay, and that goes down to our kettlebell classes or any weight training, etc. you're doing, if you can't press that thing out over your head and keep the shoulders stable, you're risking your chance of injury because everything down here is going to be moving to compensate. Okay, you're not going to be able to lock out and work those muscles effectively. And if you don't address the problem, okay, you're going to end up hurt, okay, and you're not working the muscles we're trying to target effectively in the first place. So without further ado, we're going to be working predominantly around the shoulder girdle. So the chest, the shoulders, the back, okay, and as we go, I'm going to explain the whole point in these muscles and why we're smashing them. So grab your foam roller, grab your massage ball, and let's get stuck into it. Woo! Right. By God, it's warm. Where are we at? Right, you need the foam roller first. We need the foam roller first. Right, smack that bit in there. We're going to be hitting the lats. That's all you need to know. Latissimus dorsi, these big muscles here. So if you grab a hold of them, okay, we get a lot of restriction in here, a lot of tacked down muscle tissue, and that can be the biggest culprit as to why you're struggling to press up over your head. So while we're doing this, I encourage that you grab a good hold of that muscle group there, a right good hold, grab a hold of the skin and try and lift your arm and press it up straight overhead. Do you feel that restriction? That's kind of what's happening if all that muscle's tacked down and unable to move freely. So unfortunately, this is probably one of the worst and most painful ones you'll encounter when we come to foam rolling, but we need to try and find a state of relaxation. So building off of what we've done last time, remember, we're keeping it simple. We're trying to smash and grind that muscle tissue between the foam roller and the bone, simply trying to break up that tissue, okay? Restore that nice suppleness to it. So don't overcomplicate things. I'll try and target you into the right area, but I'm pretty sure you'll get it right as soon as you get on the spot, you'll feel it. So we're trying to target pretty much the bottom of the armpit to begin with. Now I'm lying side on, okay? I'm lying side on, but I'm going to roll back just ever so slightly to make sure I'm getting onto those back muscles, okay? I want you to try and keep these arms straight. The reason for that is we're trying to mobilize ourselves and hit the restricted areas in the movement pattern we're trying to work on here. So we're trying to get that arm straight up over your head. So don't have it way out here, chilled out. Try to get it straight. That's going to expose the area more. And all I'm going to do now is just simply start going side to side. Okay, so I'm just pretty much under my armpit. Imagine you're putting roll-on on. Yep. Roll-on right at the bottom. You've got hairy pits where the hair stops. Yep, right at the bottom. That's where we're going to be targeting first, okay? So we're starting at the bottom, and all I want you to do is go side to side, smash the tissue, which is what we're doing. As soon as you encounter an area of high pain, which I'm confident you'll feel, what do we do? Okay, let's think back to the last class. What do? We try to relax first and foremost on that area of high pain, try to apply pressure, force down into the foam roller, and then we begin with scrubbing, which is just simple. Little side to side, little up and down. Imagine someone's elbows getting jammed in there and trying to break that tissue further up. As I said with this one, go explore, okay? We're in and around the armpit area. I want you to go high as you can up to the, basically like I said, think about where you would put a roll-on on. That's the kind of area we're working on, but rolling back to make sure we're on the back muscles, okay? So we're not actually rolling the armpit itself. Happy with that? Good. So go around that general area, looking for tightness, looking for restriction, but ultimately looking for pain. And if you get this right, everybody, I'm pretty sure 99% of you are going to encounter a lot of high pain. So get right into it, explore it. I should really turn the other way so you can't see this horrendous face. But it's awful, okay? This is pretty awful, so make sure you're rolling down, finding any restriction, and getting stuck into it. Don't be shy, okay? We're not going to be spending all morning on this. We're going to be spending a good few minutes Tropical in here this morning again. And as you'll experience with this stuff, high pain, okay, makes you sweat. It certainly gets the body temperature up, but we're trying to stay relaxed, which is difficult, okay? I don't want you for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes just having a completely screwed up face. Get stuck into it, everybody. Go up, go down, look for areas of high pain. Good. And I'm quickly going to show you. You keep going, but make sure you can see, just to make sure everybody's getting the right area. It's this area here. So I'm starting just below the arm, working down this area here. Okay, you'll feel that muscle tissue. Make sure you're getting right in the back as well. Okay, not right round onto the back, but into here. You'll feel the muscle tissue we're after, but this is where we're after here. That area that I pretty much told you to grab. So don't overcomplicate it. We're still on the same side, so don't shift. Spending quality time. We're not concerning ourselves. There we are. We're not concerning ourselves with the areas of low pain, the areas that feel all right. We're on the hunt. We're on the hunt for that tissue that needs work. Okay, as soon as you encounter that pain, you get into it, you push into it, scrub the hell out of it. Don't just lie on the foam roller hoping it's going to fix itself. You need to put in the work. And with this stuff, it really is a matter of the more work you put in, the more you're going to get out. And it tends to relate to the more pain you can handle, the more discomfort you can endure, the more you're going to get out of this. But as always, on a serious note, pain and discomfort, we expect pain and discomfort in this area, okay? That horrible, blunt, kind of toothache times 1,000 pain in the muscle tissue that we're poking at with a foam roller, that's the pain we expect. Okay, so be sensible, don't be hurting yourself, but realise at the same time, this is not meant to be pretty. It certainly isn't. Top tip I'll give you, and I keep telling people as we do these classes, because you see people rolling around into awkward positions. I want to move further down. This arm is doing nothing, okay? So what can I do? Grab the foam roller, roll it down a wee bit. Okay, that's going to save you. Oh, that's going to save you. That's awful. It's going to save you rolling into strange positions and ending up on the other side of your living room or wherever you're doing this. Last 30 seconds, okay? So I want you to really get in there, work on the areas that are sore. Don't be shy. Scrub it as best you can, trying to keep that muscle tissue relaxed. No matter how painful and uncomfortable it is, we need to keep that muscle tissue nice and soft while we smash it into the foam roller. So as most people are going to feel in this one, there's a lot of high pain, okay? The minority, you might find there's nothing in there, in which case, good for you, okay? But for the majority, a lot of high pain in there. So what does that tell us? Okay, that tells us there's work to be done. So if you struggle, relax there, everybody. Now, rather than just go straight into it, catch your breath, get a sip of water if you need one, because that's quite a horrible one. Again, maybe not for everybody, but I would say for the most part, that's pretty awful, okay, for many people. All the more reason to do it, and that's why we're starting with it. People that come through my door, that tends to be the area that's all jammed up tight, and that's because we've got bad posture, okay? Muscle tissue's not used to moving like that for a lot of people. They first start exercising, they don't really do a lot of overhead work, okay? So it's new to them. We've got a lot of tacked down tissue that's not used to going that way, so we need to break it up, which is what we're doing, and stretch it out, okay, which we're going to be doing next. So we're starting with this one because it's an important one. So let's go again. Remember, use that other hand to move the foam roller around. I don't need to move position. I just lie in my foam roller, okay? Roll back a little bit. So I'm lying on my foam roller. I've got the arm nice and straight as if it was over my head, so I'm replicating an overhead press. And just roll back a little bit to start targeting those lats, okay? Like I say, don't overcomplicate it. Don't look at me and try to work out the exact point I'm on. General area, okay? That's all you're after. And then from there, side to side, cross section in the area, moving down a little bit. Remember, use the other hand to move the foam roller. Good. Yeah, there we go. And remember, we're trying to stay relaxed. It's not easy, is it though? It's not easy when it's painful. But focus on your breathing. Don't just focus on nothing but the pain. Now, as we do this, one thing I will not be including in this video is what we call a dead hang. Okay, hanging off of a bar and relaxing. Okay, so for example, you can see behind me, where is it? There, a pull-up bar. If you're fortunate enough to have a pull-up bar in your house Or maybe you go to the gym every day and you've got access to a pull-up bar. I encourage, as part of your warm-up, or just as often as you can, jump up, grab a hold of it, and hang off of it. And we call it a dead hang, no momentum, we're just hanging off the bar. And you imagine that that bar is pulling your shoulders out the joint. As a result, you'll be stretching out. Every muscle group we are going to be targeting this morning, you're going to stretch out in one movement, okay? So it's a good one to throw in at the start of a warm-up, but also if you do struggle with your overhead mobility and flexibility, when you're doing a dead hang, you're replicating the same position as an overhead press, but we're pulling. And we're managing to stretch all those muscle groups out. So I recommend hang off a bar, hang off a swing park, okay? If you're out walking the dog, who cares what folk think? Ah, weirdo in the swing park, hanging off of there. Maybe don't do it when all the kids are around, but it's one of the best ways to get your mobility better. If you're going to hang off a tree, make sure the branch is going to hold itself first, okay? Otherwise we end up with broken kneecaps. That's not my fault. Keep going, everyone. Keep working hard. There's a different type of hard work to our training itself, but we still have to put in the work with this stuff. It doesn't come for free. Just because you go to the gym doesn't mean to say you're going to get in shape. Doesn't mean to say you're going to get fit. Just because you're lying on your foam roller doesn't mean to say you're going to improve your mobility and flexibility. You need to put in the work. It's not going to do it for you. Last minute or so, let's go for it. So this is the point where you think, right, let's get stuck into those areas, of high pain. And I'm just going to smash it, grin and bear it as much as I can, and stay relaxed. It's a very important area we're working on this morning. Definitely the biggest problem area for many. And as always, you're following along with this class just now, which is going to be about an hour long. It's to learn, it's to educate you, okay, on the muscle groups responsible for the range of movement that we're working on, the exercise that we're working on, that overhead press. But through this class, you might find that this is the worst one for you. Maybe the chest one's the worst one for you, etc. So you can start randomly throwing it into your day, just doing 2 minutes each side. It doesn't have to be an hour's mobility class. Hit your problem areas, little and often, and you'll see a big improvement. But you have to put the work in. And you will see an improvement if you do, I promise you that. Right, finish up there, everybody. Okay, nastiness, yes, absolute nastiness. So that would be one I would definitely say to most people if you're struggling overhead. Get that one into your day as often as you can. It doesn't need to be as long as we've done. It could be a couple of minutes on each side. Right, test and adjust. I say it every time when we're doing these live classes. Every time you do something, test and adjust, okay? I want you can stand up if you like to do it. Pull your shoulder blades together. Get your arms, imagine you've got those kettlebells or that weight and you're going to press it up over your head. You're trying to keep your shoulder blades pulled together. You're trying to get the arms locked out straight and you're trying to keep the shoulder girdle pulled down. Okay, so you shouldn't feel that shrug. Of course, it's not going to be a miracle if there's a lot of work to be done. It's not just in case you do that, everything's better now. But test it, because that might have made a big improvement. You might all of a sudden feel there's not much restriction anymore, okay? Wow, if I do that for 2 minutes each day for the rest of the week, think of the improvement I'm going to make. So test and adjust every time we do it. Now we're going to stretch that area out, okay? You're going to need a chair, a bench, a sofa, or a simple raised platform, everybody. We're doing it on a raised platform, okay? Now this could be my sofa, this could be my chair. It doesn't matter, as long as it's raised. The idea here is trying to get my elbows on the ledge of it, nice and stable, roughly shoulder width apart, okay? And then from here, so it's good that you watch me first. From here, I'm going to drop down, okay? And as you can see, from this, I can move my knees back, and I want to get as much weight onto my arms as I can. What I don't want you to do is massively, look at my back, I don't want you to overextend your back like I'm showing you now. That's not so good. Try to keep your spine neutral and push the chest down. We're trying to target the stretch in here. Most of you will feel that straight away. Beginners, you'll be up here, struggling to go further, that's fine. Bit more advanced, you'll find that your head and nose goes through, and that's the reason why we're doing it on an elevated platform. And go that far. I recommend that you put your hands together and put them behind your head like I'm showing you now, so your arms are bent at 90 degrees. That's going to lengthen out your triceps and help lengthen out your lats just a little bit more and get a better stretch quicker and sooner. Focus on your breathing on this one. If it's that tight, you'll find that the lats fight it a little bit. What we need to encourage is that muscle to relax. You want to feel like gravity's pulling you towards the ground. Don't rest your forehead on the bench, you defeat the purpose. The whole point here is we're trying to get maximum weight between our arms to help encourage that stretch. This is not difficult, this is a simple static stretch. Hold, focusing on your breathing, trying to take it further by relaxing more. Good work, and keep holding it, okay? I appreciate you probably can't see me now, but I'll tell you when to get out of it. We're going to be holding it for at least 2 minutes. The longer you hold this stretch, the more you relax, the more uncomfortable it will probably become. All I'll say is grin and bear it. Get on with it. Focus on your breathing and try to relax into this stretch. It's not meant to be chilled out. It's not meant to feel good. We're trying to better ourselves. So it's a good stretch, this one, an easy one to do. And for a lot of people, see if you just smash out those lats like we've done in the foam roller and do this stretch, you'll see a considerable improvement in getting those arms straight up over your head, because like I say, the area that we've targeted first tends to be the biggest culprit for most people that I've met and worked with that's restricting them getting their arms straight up over your head. Good. 20 more seconds. Focus on your breathing. This is a point where it's probably getting pretty uncomfortable for a lot of people. Stay relaxed, even if it's uncomfortable. Focus on your breathing. Don't just focus on the pain, discomfort. We shouldn't really be getting much pain. It should just be uncomfortable. Make sure you're relaxed, you're not fighting it. Good. And then I want you to slowly ease out of this one, as in come out of it gently. Don't put too much strain and stress on your arms and on your shoulder joint. Then come out of it. When we're coming out of these stretches, I always recommend you come out of it equally, as in don't just roll off to the side. Don't put too much weight on one arm. Come out of it equally. Okay, now I want you to shake out, and once again, what we're going to do, we've just done something new. I want you to test and adjust, okay? Pull the shoulder blades together. Get these arms as if you're pressing something up over your head, and try it slowly, okay? Do you feel a big improvement? Okay, if you do, good, you know that area needs a lot of work, so I would keep doing it as often as you can. If things feel moderately better or a wee bit better, still keep doing it, okay? But we're going to continue on now. We're going to get smashing round to the chest and shoulders, okay? Another common area where we start to get a lot of tightness. So we've just dealt with the lats, okay? The upper back muscles, the restriction we get in here. Now we're moving round to the front, okay? Into the chest and shoulders. Another area we get a lot of common problem. It's another area, probably we're kind of doing it in, starting with the most important area and then working our way down. Okay, so this would be the second most important area I would recommend you target. A lot of us, when we sit, we manage good posture, but over time we start to slouch. Okay, as a result, your body's going to adapt to what you do 90% of the time, isn't it? So just because you're doing this class for 1% of your day doesn't mean to say you're going to be fixed if you then return back and start returning to this default terrible posture. Okay, so all the work you're putting in now will go to waste. I promise you that. It'll be a waste of time if you just let yourself go back to sitting like this, okay? Make sure when you're moving around that you're trying to encourage yourself into these positions, I'm telling you. It's simple. Keep the shoulder blades pulled together and never feel like you're sitting on your tailbone, okay? You should never feel like you're slouched on the lower back. That causes havoc, especially for squats, believe it or not, when you start sitting on your back. Okay, so when you're getting into a seat, slide your bum down the backrest to make sure that your pelvis is right in the crest of the seat and it's supported there and you're not sitting slouched. Keep the shoulder blades pulled together, okay, and you're trying to keep all this relaxed as often as you can. Again, we get all stressed and tense without realising it, whoofed, and then you become conscious and you relax, okay? So that's the point I'm getting at. If you're always sitting like this, what happens to the tissue on the front? It becomes shortened, okay? It then becomes relaxed in that shortened state. So when you try to pull those shoulder blades back, it's effort for it, okay? It's almost like that elastic band. It's now stretching, and when you relax, ping, it comes back forward. So that's why we need to keep encouraging it. So from here, we're going to be getting stuck in. You've got the choice of the massage ball or the foam roller. If you've never done this before and you're not sure what to start with, I recommend you start with the foam roller. Okay, remember the foam roller is good for targeting a general area. The ball's good for getting stuck into the nitty gritty, okay, getting much deeper in. So we're going to start, or if you've done it before, I recommend you do what you want, okay? But if you're not sure, start with the foam roller. We're going to be getting smashed into here. We call it the anterior compartment, okay? Now, if I was lying on my foam roller, I would look something like this, okay? The foam roller would be at this angle. You'll find this will naturally happen. You'll naturally get it into this area. And all we're looking for is that little cavity, which you can find with your fingers, where your chest swoops round, okay? So we've got those pec muscles, the pectorals, sweeping round into the shoulder joint, okay? So fire your fingers in there, in between the shoulder joint and the chest, okay? Get the fingers in there, you feel it? That's where we're trying to place the foam roller. That's where we got a lot of restricted tissue that you struggle to get that arm back. So let's go for it, okay? I'm going to lie down. As always, if you're not sure, watch me before you commit. I'm lying down, okay? And I recommend you roll the shoulder round, get out on top of it, okay? And then push down into the foam roller, trying to get as much weight on here as we can. Now from here, because we're using the foam roller, we can pretty much attack the whole area at once. So get the foam roller at the angle I'm showing you, roughly 45 degrees, shape it in, and then from here, start scrubbing, okay? Scrub, move your arm around. But remember, I want to keep that arm straight. Keep that arm nice and straight, trying to keep the shoulder blade pulled together. Try not to become lazy. Try not to encourage that zombie arm that I'm telling you about. Keep it all nice and pulled together. And then from here, it's a tissue smash. We're just smashing that muscle tissue. Looking for areas of pain, okay? And I'm pretty sure with your foam roller, you'll probably find it. So all I'm doing now is I'm going to try and push down hard into that foam roller. So I'm almost coming off the side. Okay, if you can see what I'm doing, I've got my arm here. I'm going to push in to get my body up on top of this foam roller more, so I'm getting more weight. That feels pretty horrible, okay? I can feel the restricted tissue. It's painful, okay? But now to take it to another level, we can smash and floss here because we're right on the joint. So if you can see me now, what you can do, pin that tissue down where it feels quite tender. Start moving the arm around, okay? Start moving the arm around. Imagine you're making a snow angel, and you can come right round behind as if you're almost being restrained, so you can get that hand up behind your back. So the idea with this is, everybody, you're trying to pin that area of pain, and then you're trying to smash the muscle tissue by moving the arm around. On that note, as you move the arm around, you might all of a sudden encounter high pain. If you have the arm at a certain angle and you encounter high pain, pause at that angle and smash it into the foam roller, grind it into the foam roller some more. So when you move that arm around, if all of a sudden you open it up and it just goes, pin it there, smash it into the foam roller. If you feel you're getting a good bit of work done with the foam roller, stick with the foam roller. If you feel you're not quite getting in there, it's almost like you can just about feel an area of high pain, but the foam roller's not getting quite in there, change to the ball, okay? But one thing you'll find when you change to the ball here, everyone, is you'll be a lot lower down. So you'll struggle to smash that arm around quite as freely. But play around with it, okay? And really try and get up on top of that foam roller and push down. There's no right or wrong. I'm giving you the target area. It's up to you to explore that target area and try to find any restriction. And what you need to realise is if you're not finding any restriction, it's not wrong. It's not that you're doing it wrong. It just means there isn't anything there, okay? It just means you're all right. But still, I encourage you still to do it and put a bit of goodness back into our body, which is what we're trying to do. So we're investing this time now with these sessions to understand how your body's moving, make you a bit more aware about your mobility and flexibility. Apply it to the exercises that you're doing. But also from experience, it's because most people don't really know too much about this stuff. Okay, and you can fix a lot of the day-to-day problems you have with your body, the little niggles and pains, just from throwing a little bit of this in. Sure, if you've never done it before, like we're doing now, you're going to have to invest some serious time to get your body back up to speed. But after that, it becomes maintenance, okay? It doesn't need to be all day, every day, cracking an hours-long mobility class. Great if you can. Right, we're going to change sides, okay? I don't need to get up. Going to change sides, okay? Now, I'm pretty sure you know where you're going. So get it done. On the other side, roughly 45 degrees, as you can see, just shaping around, getting into that area, get the arm nice and straight, pin it into the foam roller, scrub a little bit, get to know the area. Get to know the area you're working on, right? There's a bit of high pain, there's a bit of high pain, right? Oof, that feels the worst. I'm going to start there. From here, it's just a matter of trying to load that foam roller up with as much weight as you can. And if you're on that area of high pain, remember, you can just simply pin it. Don't overcomplicate it. If you're on an area of high pain and those little teeth of the foam roller are jagging into it and it feels awful, push down, push down, push down. Compression, pressure, push down. Try to get more weight onto it. Keep that relaxed state of the muscle tissue. Don't start fighting it. And then once you've got a decent bit of weight on that foam roller, that's when we can start really going for it. That's when we can scrub side to side, up and down on that area of high pain, just simply trying to grind it, break it free if you like. And then start moving that arm around. So we're not on the shoulder joint, we're not on the front of the shoulder joint, we're not really on the chest. We're right in, like I say, that cavity right where the pecs sweep in, your chest muscles sweep into the shoulder joint, and there's a bit of a cavity, okay? That's where we'll find a lot of restricted tissue, and that's why a lot of people have a hard time pulling their shoulder blades together. And then when they relax, they just snap forwards again into that rounded position. So hopefully when I'm explaining this, you're starting to understand what I mean, how the body works, how to improve your posture, and how to be more conscious of it. The biggest lesson I'll give you is never stop thinking about this stuff, especially when you're first starting. You get in the car, right, am I sitting right? Am I slouched forward, or have I got my shoulders blades pulled together? Set your seat up properly as well, so that you're not overreaching for the steering wheel. Little things like that. Sitting at your desk. Invest in a decent seat. And when I say a decent seat, I don't mean go and find the latest 500 quid ergonomical, spinal, whatever you want to call it, best for your lower back nonsense. As long as it's comfortable and you can hold yourself in good posture, it's a decent seat. If there ever was such a thing as a good seat, when half of the stuff that we're doing in the mobility class, if not all of it, is trying to combat the effects of a seat, believe it or not. Keep going, keep smashing, keep doing what you can. This is on you. You do it off a feel. I'm just trying to talk you through it and keep you in the right area. Areas of high pain is what we can sell myself with here, everyone. That's all. Good. Right. Again, test and adjust. Overhead press. How's things feeling? Okay. And I don't just mean overhead press. Move your arms around. Move them behind. Okay. Do you feel that things are moving a bit better around the shoulder joint? Yes. No. Maybe. Okay. That's down to you and the work that might need to be done. Right. We're moving on. Okay. This is a good stretch for targeting. There's no better stretch, in my opinion, for really targeting that area. Okay, and for a lot of us, it can be pretty damn difficult. Now, I'm going to do it sat down. You can do it stood up, okay, but I'm going to keep down at your camera angle, so I don't need to change everything. But it can be absolutely done sat down. All I'm going to do is imagine you're being restrained, okay? I'm going to take my arm, I'm going to put it behind me. Simple as that to start with. And then see my hand, I'm going to move around. All I want to do is then try and feed my arm as high up my back as I can, but chest proud, okay? So I would encourage that. You get it as high up your back as you can first. Don't worry if you're rounded forward a wee bit. Get it as high up as you can. Then when you've got it at what feels like the highest point, push through with that chest, okay? And what that's going to do is move this arm back and really focus. I want you to try and keep your shoulder blades pulled together. And imagine you're standing nice and tall, nice and proud, okay? If it's uncomfortable, good, there's work to be done, okay? So I'm getting that arm. Push that chest up proud, okay? It's important that you get that hand up. Imagine you're trying to scratch yourself on the back of the neck with the back of your hand, okay? That's what I want you to imagine you're doing. Trying to get it up further and further and further. Push forwards, and we should be feeling that stretch right in here, okay? Now, we might feel that there's a bit of, if you move your neck around, you might feel there's a bit of restriction in the tissue of the upper traps, okay? Which is, again, another common problem, and it's one we're going to get stuck into this morning briefly, okay? So you might just feel as you move your neck around, oh, I feel like there's something jamming up in here. which there quite often is, make sure you're trying to enhance this stretch. Another thing we can do to enhance it now is lean forwards, lean forwards, lean forwards. If you're stood up, just simply do the same, lean forward, and that's going to send the hand further back, which is going to put more pressure on this joint here, okay? It can be uncomfortable. It should be uncomfortable. If you're doing this correctly, you should be achieving a level of discomfort, but we shouldn't be getting pain. No shooting pains, nothing like that, okay? If you're fairly mobile, it might not feel too bad. If you're not very mobile, you really should be feeling this. Try and get that hand as high up your back as you possibly can, and I'm confident you'll feel a good stretch. From here, take it out slowly, and you'll probably feel that is pretty uncomfortable as you take it out. Oof, yep, that's not nice, is it? Okay, but again, in my opinion, there's no better way for targeting that tissue for a good quality stretch, and we can do that anywhere. Okay, we can do that sat down at a desk. I just showed you I'm sat down just now. So there's no real excuse. It's making you aware of these little hacks, these little stretches, and like I've always said, with these mobility classes, try and incorporate it randomly into your day, because there's quite often no excuse, okay? If you're sat thinking about something or doing whatever, even when you're walking around, get that arm up. If you're brushing your teeth, you brush your teeth with one arm. If you've got two arms, whack the other one up, okay? Sounds daft, but there's a hack. You spend 2 minutes at least, or you should brush your teeth. So I'm gonna get this arm up, okay? So that could be a 1 minute hold on each side. So I'm gonna get these arms up high as I can. Sorry, the hand, I'll show you again. Everybody's gonna be different here. Get the arm behind you and then try to get it up as high as you can. And you might have to, as I'm showing you now, wiggle it up, wiggle it up, wiggle it up. Once you feel you've got it at its highest point, that's when I want you to then, if you're stood up or sat down, it doesn't matter, nice and tall, nice and proud, okay? Imagine you're trying to keep your shoulder blades pulled together. Think about the stretch, relax. Try to pull the elbow back, okay? All I'm trying to do is enhance the stretch. There's no right or wrong. Good tall, good proud posture. Pull that elbow back, you might feel the stretch more. What we're trying to avoid is looking like this, where you're just permanently pulled forwards. If it's that tight, you will be, but you're trying to fight back to that nice proud chest. You might find that one side feels a lot easier than the other. Again, it's normal. We sit with bad posture, bad form, we end up with a lot of imbalance. And again, move the neck. Does it feel like there's any restriction in the tissue surrounding the neck? Especially those upper traps, because we don't always feel that and how it affects us. And I could play around with the position. Try maybe leaning forward. Does that enhance it? Does it not? If it does, good. If it doesn't, go back. Try and find a way to enhance it. So a good effective stretch, this one, and a very simple one to do. And just like any, if you throw it in little and often, you're going to see a big improvement in a short space of time. Right, let's get that arm out slowly, shake it out. Hopefully things feel all right for you. Good work. And then from here, everybody, we're going to get into a chest stretch, okay? So we've targeted right in at that joint, okay? We've targeted that area specifically. Now we're going to get in and target the chest muscles themselves, okay? So on the whole, the pectoral muscles. If there's tightness in there, again, that's just going to translate to you having rounded shoulders, those shoulder blades, those shoulders being pulled forwards, okay? If there's tightness here, we're trying to open up the chest so that when we have got our shoulder blades pulled together, they're not under tension, they're relaxed, so therefore they're not just going to keep going, springing forwards again. So this is simple, okay? I'm going to lie down. I'm going to get that arm out to the side. All I'm going to do now, keeping my shoulder blade pulled together, which is the most important part, keep my shoulder blade pulled together and my chest proud. I'm going to roll into my hand, okay? Do it slowly because I want you to make sure that you're keeping that chest proud and you're not letting the shoulder round, okay? So as I roll into my arm, I'm trying to get a nice proud chest. Keep the palm flat on the ground of the hand that you're rolling into. And with your other hand, try to use it as a stabilizer to push off of and apply a bit more tension to the stretch that we're working on here. As always, focus on your breathing and try and take it further. Don't just hold, it's not a static hold. We take it to the point we feel we're at maximum stretch, we focus on our breathing, and we take it further, further and further, ever so slightly. Increasing, trying to increase the range of movement. Don't ease in and out, don't bounce it, don't let it out. It's a simple, take it as far as you can, and then for 2 minutes, try to take it further. Simple. can enhance it by forcing the chest proud, keeping the shoulder blade pulled together. You may well feel this on your biceps, okay? You might feel it sweeping down into the arms, maybe even into the forearm. If there's tightness there, if there's restriction there, you'll target it with this stretch too. So while it's predominantly a chest stretch, it's going to be targeting the shoulders, and it's also going to be targeting the biceps into the forearms as well if they're feeling pretty tight, if there's a bit of restriction in there. So it's not wrong if you feel it in those areas too. Take it further, take it further, take it further. Good. And then we're just going to simply, slowly, as always, ease out of that. You don't need to get up, but I encourage you to bend the arm, let the blood flow, okay, and then get into the next side. So arm out to the side, okay, 90 degrees to the body. Get the shoulder blade pulled together, get the chest nice and proud, and slowly roll. So don't just go for it, slowly roll so that we keep that shoulder blade pulled together, so that we keep that chest nice and proud. Chest proud. Other arm, push into the ground. The arm that we're rolling in, make sure the palm stays nice and flat on the ground. All you want you to do is just move your body into a position that allows you to enhance that stretch. So I've kind of got my legs, I'm trying to throw them round back to add a bit more weight into this stretch. Taking it further, forcing the chest proud, keeping the shoulder blade pulled together. Keep going for it, everybody. You have to keep yourself in the zone, okay? It's very easy to let the mind wander, and then you've spent 2 minutes holding a really rubbish stretch. So focus on the task at hand, focus on trying to take it further, and make sure you are. Good. Right, slowly relax out of that one, everybody. Stand up, shake out, get a sip of water, test and adjust, and let's move on to the final few movements we're going to be doing. We've targeted the areas in our upper back muscles. We've hit these lats, we've hit the front of the chest and shoulders. Keep on that, okay? Those are the biggest areas people get a lot of problems on. So if you work on that, you'll probably see a big improvement if you haven't done so already. Now we're just going to summarise by working on some of the tissue on the upper back and the trapezius muscles, okay? Anything, we're going to find a lot of pain and discomfort potentially. So we're going on the search. As always, I'm going to show you the general area we're going for, and then it's up to you to go on the hunt and find those areas of pain and discomfort that are relevant to you. So we're going to be working around the scapula. All your scapula are your shoulder blades. So you hear me telling you to pull your shoulder blades together. All I want to be doing now is getting the ball roughly where I'm showing you here. This is where I'm going to be starting and working down along the curvature of my scapula, not going onto the spine, okay? We don't want to start whacking onto the spine with this ball, so stay away from the spine, but you'll be somewhere in between the spine and the shoulder blade. This is the area I want you to work on. Stay away from the upper trapezius because that's the second area we're going to be working on, okay? So it's simple. That's the area I'm after. Don't overcomplicate it. I'm simply going to put my ball down. I'm going to lie on the ball, and when you lie on the ball, that's when you're going to get to know where your shoulder blades are. Okay, so I don't want to be on my shoulder blade. I want to be just between my spine and the shoulder blade. You'll find all that nice soft tissue, okay, or at least it should be. What I'm trying to imagine I'm doing is I'm trying to get the ball in behind my shoulder blade, okay? So when you're on here, you'll feel what I mean. Roll, you'll hit the shoulder blade and imagine you're just trying to get in behind it. From here, it's simple. This is where I tell you now, really don't overcomplicate this. We've got a big dense lot, a big surface area of dense muscle tissue, okay? So all I'm doing is lying on the ball and just go straight into smashing it. Okay, work your way down the shoulder blades. Now we've got a lot of connective points where the muscles insert into the shoulder blades, and that is as a result, you're going to feel a lot of pain. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to find a lot of tack down hot spots, okay? When you push into this ball, it's going to be pretty nasty. and you're looking for an area of high pain. So for example, found one now. So what do? Push down hard into that, okay? I'm trying to stay relaxed, trying to keep the muscle tissue relaxed that I'm targeting. Put the pressure, put the force into the ball and start scrubbing, okay? Just simple, side to side, up and down. Now with the arm, I want you to move the arm around, because when you move the arm around, your shoulder blade's going to move as well. We're going to shorten and lengthen that muscle tissue. You're going to expose that muscle tissue more. So you find an area of high pain, move your arm around. Move it up over your head as you pin that area of high pain. Move it across to the other side of your pelvis. Move it up above your chest, okay? And grind and smash that muscle tissue. So I want you working down the shoulder blades, okay? Starting just from the top of the shoulder blade, working your way down. And this is why we use the ball here, okay? Sure, you could use the foam roller, but there's no way the foam roller can get right into the nitty-gritty that this ball can, okay? So I'm confident most people will be able to find some areas of high pain, okay? And remember, we're trying to focus on those areas of high pain and make an improvement on that area of high pain. So working on all the tissue, the upper back muscles now, into the ribs, and trying to find any restriction in there that might be affecting us posturally or limiting my range of movement or keeping my body nice and stable when we're pressing up overhead. So really get stuck in, you really can. Don't forget that arm movement that I'm showing you now, okay? Arm above the chest, arm goes above nice and slow, above the head, and arm across to the pelvis. It's a good way to really smash into that tissue. Once you've found that area of high pain, just pin it onto the ball and conduct that arm sequence, and that'll help break things up. Good, we're going to change sides, everybody, okay? Now you can spend as long as you want on here, okay? If you're doing it unrecorded, you can simply just pause the button and crack on if you feel you need a bit more time, because we can spend a lot longer on there, let's be honest. All I'm going to do is change sides. So again, it's a simple matter. I lie the ball down, try to land roughly in the general area, have a wee wiggle around until you find yourself pretty much at the top of your shoulder blade. And then from there, simple, start smashing it. Start rolling side to side, working your way down between the spine and the shoulder blade until you find an area of high pain. Okay, when you find that area of high pain, push down hard into it. Now you can absolutely support. If you've constantly got your head held up off the ground, unsupported, your neck's going to get tired, okay? Of course it is. You can either put your head on the ground or you can support your head with your arm. Anything, as long as you're trying to get as much weight into that ball. Push down hard into it. Grind that muscle tissue into the ball while keeping it relaxed. Pin that area of high pain down hard. And do the arm sequence as well to help smash and floss that muscle tissue. And if you move your arm in a certain angle and it feels hellish, stop at that angle and smash it a little bit. You've obviously exposed it and you're getting into it better. So utilise it, get stuck in. So it's an area, potentially for yourself, that might feel like it needs a lot of work because there's a lot of areas of high pain. And remember, if there's restriction here and we're mid to upper back, that's going to affect further up, further down, left and right. So by freeing up a bit of slack down here, we're going to help out other areas surrounding it. So don't forget that. That's why we're venturing a bit further down, making sure these shoulder blades are able to move and glide freely the way they're meant to. And remember, this video is aimed at working the entire area that might be responsible for a poor overhead mobility. You can simply extract the ones you really need, the ones that you feel are effective for you, and throw it into little and often throughout your day. Right, let's change there. Okay, now we're going to finish with a very quick 1 minute trap scrub on each side, okay? Traps, trapezius muscles, okay? Can't quite point them out to you, but these here, okay, they run down your back. It's almost like a diamond shape, okay? They sweep across the shoulders, they sweep out to the shoulder joint, and they sweep all the way down here, like I say, almost like a diamond shape. All we're going to be working on is the upper traps, okay? So see that area here that you can grab a hold of, okay? That kind of classic shoulder massage area. That's the area I want you to target. But remember, we can start at the base of the neck, we can work out to the shoulder joint, and all I want you to do is just around that meaty shelf of muscle up towards your upper back. That's where we're going to spend a minute on each side, okay? So where I'm showing you now, pretty much in the vicinity of here, all you're looking for in this minute is an area of high pain. You might feel straight away the whole area is uncomfortable, but all I'm going to do is position the ball exactly where I showed you, have a quick scrub around, a quick 5 seconds. Oh, right, there's an area of high pain, there's another one. Right, that feels worse, right, get stuck onto that. So it's that dense tissue at the top of your shoulder girdle, okay? And I want you to really push down into it. I want you to really push down to it and just go. Get smashing. We're only doing a minute because I want to show you this one because it's another important one. But we want to be getting this video off to a close now. So go for it, grind into it, really go for it. See if you can feel any horrible, grizzly, knotted up muscle tissue. And if you can, make the most of this time. Get stuck into it and just smash it, okay? So we call it a trap scrub because it's the traps, and all I want you to do is get up the ball and apply that scrubbing technique. Just grind into it, okay? You'll find for a lot of people, we hold a lot of tension up here, a lot of stress. And remember, these traps are very important. The trapezius muscles I just showed you are very important in stabilizing your entire shoulder girdle. I can't even say that word properly. When you're pressing up overhead. So if all the muscle tissue is restricted and we're lacking a lot of range, that's going to be massively affected, okay? So it's more to make you aware. Once again, if you feel that, oh my word, this needs a lot of work, spend more time on it. Throw it into your day. Right, change sides. Straight away, change sides. Just shift the ball over and go for it on this side too. Trying to apply as much force as you can. Roll around, scrub the upper traps, find the areas of high pain, get stuck into it and just grind into that ball. You can move your arm around, see how it feels, see if it makes it more effective, if it helps. Good. If you go way off target, just get the other hand in there and move the ball back on target rather than shifting yourself around into weird positions. Good. Right, let's summarise. Job done, well done everybody. Okay, so again, working on that overhead range of movement, whether you're overhead pressing with weights, kettlebells, okay, or just you're wanting to improve your general posture, okay, your upper body posture. That's exactly what we've been targeting this morning, okay? Like I say, you don't just do an hour's class and you're fixed. We've done a big class. Hopefully you've taken something from it. Hopefully you now know the areas that you really need to work on, the ones that are affecting you the most. Get them done, little and often, throw it into your day. Sure thing, do an hour's mobility class as often as you can, especially in this stage. But if you don't have that time, just throw it randomly. Teach yourself how to throw it randomly into your day. You'll realise that you easily can, especially when you start to become more aware of it. You'll be more conscious of it and you'll start doing it without thinking about it. Just like the squat video, okay, there might be certain muscle groups that are still restricting your overhead press that we haven't targeted this morning, but rest assured, we will be picking them up through all the other videos that we're doing. Thank you very much. Get the work done, keep getting it done, and you will get better, okay? If you don't, then you're not going to get better. Thank you very much.